Good morning, true believers. I am back. This is John Krupa. This is the Freedom to Draw Unsolved Mysteries. Today's case is a missing boy. It happened 37 years ago in a small town, New Columbia, Pennsylvania. This missing boy was only 2 years old at the time. Join me as we draw the missing boy named Corey Edkin from New Columbia, Pennsylvania. And we're going to tell you about his story at the same time, true believers. I'm your host, John Krupa. This is the Freedom to Draw Unsolved Mysteries. Alright guys, today is National Square Dancing Day. So we got some square dancing music on in the background as we draw this missing little boy out of New Columbia, Pennsylvania. It's National Square Dancing Day. That's why we have that on in the background, guys. Let's get into the case of Corey Edkin from New Columbia, Pennsylvania. 37th anniversary of the disappearance of Corey Edkin. Corey Edkin, missing since October 12, 1986, from New Columbia, PA. His date of birth was June 11th, 1984, so he was 2 years old. Age he would be 36. His sex is male. The race is white. Hair color was a bright blonde, and his eye color was blue. He's about 3 foot tall, and he weighed 30 pounds. And this is what he looked like then. And here's what he might look like now, guys. Then, now. And this just had an anniversary in October. 37 years. Some believe he's dead. Some believe he may show up. Turn up. No one knows for sure. This is definitely a weird case, guys. Corey James Edkin went missing on October 13th, 1986 from his home in New Columbia. Friday marks 37 years since two-year-old Corey Edkin went missing from a home in New Columbia. And this article is from October 15th or October 19th, 2023. There has been some movement on the cold case in recent months, and a state trooper still investigating the case said justice will be served for the young boy reported missing on October 13th, 1986. Edkin was reported missing from a home on 2nd Street in New Columbia by his mother, Debbie Mallory, in the early morning hours of October 13th. Now you should note that reports say that it took her half an hour, or either half an hour or 40 minutes, one of those, to report him missing, that's kind of strange. Trooper said Mallory told investigators she placed her son in their bed before she drove to the store. When she returned 30 minutes later, her son was gone, she told police. State police have investigated the case since the disappearance more than 3 decades ago. In 2009, Edkin was listed in the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System called NamUs. Troopers said they do not believe that the child walked away from the home, nor that he was abducted by any other person. Mallory declined to speak with the Daily Item, the newspaper, recently, and would only say, "I have to live with this every day," before hanging up. And some people theorize that he followed his mother out when she was going to get the pizza and she didn't realize it, and they did live near a body of water, and they think he crawled into the body of water and drowned. But that's just a theory. That hasn't been proven. Mallory has not responded to calls for comment since. In August, the case's lead investigator, Trooper Brian Watkins, out of the Milton Barracks, arrested a Mifflinburg man police said is tied to the case. I listened to a deep dive on this case from Detective Ken Maines, and he did say there was a witness saying they saw the mother using a burn barrel on the night of the disappearance, and it was after the police had been called and the search began. She was seen using the burn barrel, and it's kind of weird because your kid goes missing and then you decide to burn some trash. Like, that doesn't really make sense. It's kind of odd behavior. That doesn't make her guilty of anything, but it's suspicious. Henry Bush, 55, was charged after a federal indictment in a 2022 interview with a grand jury. Bush said he heard Edkinson's body was in a gas station dumpster in Allenwood, which is nearby New Columbia. According to court documents, Bush was scheduled for preliminary arraignment earlier this week, which has been pushed back to 1:15 p.m. Tuesday. Bush is charged with the misdemeanor count of obstruction after Watkins said Bush admitted to lying during police interviews in relation to the disappearance of Edkin, according to investigators. Now, who is that guy, Henry Bush? He was said to be a close friend of the mother, and he would come over to the house. He didn't live there, but he was over there a lot. And I think the mother is quoted saying he's like a brother to me, something to that effect. And he would do all sorts of handyman things for the mother, and it's unclear what the relationship was between those two, but he was a fan of the mother, though. That's definite. And a grand jury is basically, they don't want the case to go cold, and they try to force people to testify on a case. Basically what a grand jury is. Previously, Watkins announced that state police had made significant advances in the 1986 disappearance. The individuals who caused this tragedy will be brought to justice, he said about the Edkin case last summer. In the unsealed grand jury report, investigators said they interviewed Henry Bush in November 2022, and the man told Watkins he had been cleared and he just wanted to be over with it. When Bush appeared before the grand jury, he was questioned about his source of information on Edkin being inside the dumpster, noting that Bush was the only person to have ever provided that information to authorities, according to the court documents. There's theories that say that Corey never even made it out of his house. He was killed inside by one of the adults that were inside the house. And there is a theory that maybe there was an accident. The child fell down the steps and broke his neck or something to that effect, and the mother didn't know what to do, and she was panicking, and she called the Bush guy, the Henry Bush guy, and the theory is that he was smitten over her, and he would have done anything for her, and he did. He helped dispose of the dead child in the burn barrel. That's why I told you about the burn barrel. Well, like I said, this is all theories provided by Detective Ken Maines, and I'll put a link to his show on the description, under the description in this episode, so you guys can hear the detective talk about it. He knows more than I do. Previously, Watkins announced that state police had made significant advances in the 1986 disappearance. The grand jury report also says Bush's unnamed employer testified and said he encountered Bush outside the building where the grand jury proceedings were held. The unidentified person allegedly stated Bush was a very nervous man. The report said the unidentified person who allegedly said Bush told the person he could not talk about why he was there, but he related it that it was because he got mixed up with the wrong people at the wrong time, the report stated. This is an old cold case, guys. It's 37 years since October. Authorities would like to know what happened to this 2-year-old boy. As we listen to square dance music, today is the Square Dance National Day, National Square Dance Day. Bush allegedly testified he was not sure when he stayed overnight at Mallory's home, and it could have been a week before Edkin disappeared, the report said. Now, this Bush's statement has changed throughout the years. That's another thing to note. He originally said something way different than he said. He said in '86, said something way different than he said recently now. It was almost 40 years ago, but some things you remember. Some things are not details, and you just remember. You know you were there. This guy says he can't remember a lot. Bush admitted he went to Mallory's home in the hours leading up to the disappearance, but could not remember why he did, the report said. The report also states Bush used the term alibi with respect to checking on his grandmother during the early morning hours of October 13th when Edkin went missing. When asked why he would use the term alibi if he had done nothing wrong, he allegedly reported, "I don't know," the report said. Like I said, he says "I don't know" really numerous times. And it's kind of like a red flag. It is important also to note that this boy has never been found. No sightings of him. No anything. Nothing. And Maines theorizes that he's dead. which I can totally see. But it is a mystery of where this boy, his whereabouts is located, if he is dead, what happened to him. As of now, he is a missing person. Till this case gets resolved, folks. That about does it for this case. The cold case of Corey Edkin's missing persons case. Guys, this kid was 2 years old. No one knows what happened to him. Scratch that, there may be people that were in that house may know what happened to him. They're the only people. Those 3 people that were said to be with him. Like I said, if you want more on this case, I'm going to put the link in below the description for Ken Main's assessment of this. Do something nice for somebody today. Doesn't cost you anything. Again, true believers, this is the Freedom to Draw Unsolved Mysteries. I'm John Krupa. Peace out, true believers.